Guess who's back? Back again. Richie and Josh are back. Nobody cares.
Tell a friend. Please tell a friend. They care about us.
Do they?
Yeah, they're watching us. They're
Do
listening
they?
to us. They do. They do. I've been looking at the YouTube.
Yeah.
People have been listening.
Yeah, that's good.
They've been watching. SoundCloud's all right.
I'm glad because
I haven't checked the numbers on SoundCloud, but welcome SoundCloud. Welcome
hello,
Twitch.
everyone from SoundCloud. I'm glad you enjoy hearing Josh's voice because I sure as hell don't.
You do too. That is a fucking lie. You may have had enough of me from the weekend because we worked all week together, then we spent all weekend together, and now we're working again together.
It's gonna be just great to see other faces after Friday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Columbi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Columbus this weekend.
Columbi.
Well, happy Tuesday. It's not Happy Monday today. We were gone yesterday. We were at the...
On the road again?
Yeah. Do you want to do karaoke for an hour? You can.
Maybe.
You can.
We'll
Sing
find
it.
out, won't we?
Sing it, baby boy.
Play that funky music, white boy.
So we were gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and we were in Philadelphia, PA, kind of Philadelphia, PA.
Born and raised on the playground is where we spent most of our days.
So I gotta let Richie sing in between each thing that I say, so bear with me. But yeah, we were about, 30 minutes away from Philly, I think, maybe even 45.
And we were in Philly, technically, I think.
Okay, that's a big-ass Philly, then, because we were at a casino. What was it called?
Valley Forge.
Valley
remember
Forge.
You made the joke to Josiah?
Yeah, Josiah Valley Forge, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was...
You talk about me being cringeworthy.
Yeah. I mean, it's just dad jokes. I'm a dad. I do dad jokes. I'm just not funny anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Yeah, I'm 36 and
You'll
I'm
get
not
there.
funny. I will. I'll get there. But yeah, it was a really good weekend. We'll tell you about our weekend here in a few minutes. But first, we always want to start off the podcast with our fun fact. All right, Richie, hit him. Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun. Draco!
Draco!
Bad and bougie.
All right.
All right, so do you know what the fun fact about Draco is today, Josh?
I do, because you told me earlier.
All right.
Because the number 16's off-centered from where the circle is at. No, that's not the fun fact. The fun fact is...
It does have to do with the number 16.
Yes, that it is the highest casting cost creature in all of Magic.
That's impressive. Everyone always thinks it's like Emrakul or what's that worm they play in?
Emrakul? He's a cruel man.
Mm-hmm.
The anus torn?
Oh
yeah.
I don't know about
Spaghetti
that.
Monster. What? Which card? Which creature?
The worm, Argothian worm or whatever.
Oh yeah.
The thing played in Brand.
How many CMC is that?
It's also 15.
Is it 15? Yeah, because you gain 15 life.
No, it's a color combination.
Yes.
It's Selesnya.
Got it. Yeah, so Draco is for those of you that don't know, that are newer players, it's a plane shift card, and it's a 9/9 creature, and it says it's an artifact dragon. Draco costs 2 less to play for each basic land type among lands you control. So basically, you're never casting this thing, right?
No, you can.
You're not really ever casting this thing, but what you can do is play a Torpor Orb, right? And then you could play an Aether Vial. No, that doesn't work. That's with the other guy. Does this guy get How do people play this?
Commander?
No, they don't play this card.
Yeah.
What's that one that's like...
You can sneak it in with dragons and stuff.
No, the Torpor Orb deck, where like you vial it in, it's a 1 CMC. You've never even seen that deck, have you?
That's, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like
that's not this card.
I know, but I was thinking like...
That's Phyrexian Dreadnought. They played it in Delver and Legacy.
Phyrexian Dreadnought. That
Mono blue Stifle Delver.
Yes, that thing actually costs money. Draco does not.
No.
And so the rest of him says, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Draco unless you pay 10 colorless mana. Holy shit. This cost is reduced by 2 for each basic land type among lands you control. This card is absolutely atrocious. It is a dragon, though.
Have you never played with a Draco in your life, Josh?
Dude, no. No way. I'm gonna click on the other one.
It was in a From the Vault.
Yeah, and it was also in From the Vault's Dragons. I feel really bad for whoever bought From the Vault's Dragons because this card shouldn't have been in there.
It's iconic.
It is iconic, but
It's good enough to be on our podcast, you know.
it is.
20 years later after it was printed, so.
It is. It's
Better than you. You think anybody will remember you in 20 years?
I think so.
I hope so.
Me too, yeah. So
You know who everyone else will remember, though?
Who?
Mom's Basement Games at tcgplayerpro.com.
Yes. Way to get it. Yeah, so we always want to say thanks to Mom's Basement Games for sponsoring this podcast. And the one thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start seeing if we have these cards in stock
I
whenever we do
already
fun
did that.
facts.
We don't have a Draco.
Damn it!
You type in Draco, all you get is Draconic Roar.
Draco. Draconic Roar. Yeah, you're right. Well, we don't have any Dracos in stock. What a bummer. But, hey, we got Niv Mizzet. How do you say? Oh, Draco
Genius.
Genius. And then...
Do you even English?
I do.
And then Draco Nick Roll.
Bummer. We got a bunch of Draco Geniuses in stock, though. Now, that's a dragon. I would play that dragon for sure.
I'd play Draco over Niv Mizzet.
I'd play any Niv Mizzet. Niv Mizzet's just good.
He's alright.
Yeah, he's alright. Alright, cool. So, we want to let you guys know that every week we here at Mom's Basement Games, we do play Magic, and we are on Twitch, the same thing that we're on right now, doing the podcast live. Richie plays on Thursday, I play on Friday. This week is Planeswalkers Week, which is
No. Super Friends Week.
Super Friends Week, but we play a bunch of Planeswalkers in our deck.
Yeah,
So-
well, there's a difference.
There is. Super Friends. Technically, Super Friends means you just have a bunch of Planeswalkers in your deck. And so what we're doing this week is we're trying to come up with some cool new ways to, breathe some different decks into different formats. Techno, what's up, Techno?
I wish you didn't stream at the same time as I have class. I won't be able to harass you guys. Maybe that's our plan.
So Terrence Vincent stopped by, guys, and he says that he's in class right now. So we're happy about that.
I didn't know you can go to class at that age.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's in his late 50s, and
Do you think it's his retirement course?
yeah, I think he's taking a course on how to retire, probably.
Good for you, Taryn.
They teach him how to eat milk and cookies and how to not get bed sores once he goes to his home, and
How to like tapioca pudding.
oh yeah, because no one likes tapioca
I like
pudding.
tapioca pudding.
I actually might like tapioca pudding too.
It's just pudding with rice in it.
So anyways, back to getting away from old people, and let's talk about young people. Me and Richie, we're gonna be playing some Planeswalker decks this week.
Yeah.
And so Richie, tell them about the Planeswalker deck that you're gonna be running.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get in prep for Philly, and there is
For Columbus.
Columbus. Yeah, Philly was
You're
last
doing it.
weekend.
You're finally doing it.
Well, look, I'm sorry I haven't had any time away from you.
That's okay.
I'm gonna be a little stupid.
So yeah, so Philly was this past weekend, and Columbus, we're both gonna be at Columbus this weekend. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I wanted to try a deck out that I'm considering for Columbus, which is the Jeskai Saheeli deck in Modern. So let me run through the deck for you. For creatures, you got 3 Snapcasters and 4 Felidar Guardians, and then we have 10 Planeswalkers in the deck. 4 Narset Parter Veils, 4 Saheeli Rai, and 2 Teferi Time Reveler. Moving on to the spells, there's 4 Lightning Bolt, 4 Path, 4 Serum Visions, 2 Lightning Helix, 2 Remand, and 2 Force of Negation. A Singleton Artifact in Teferi's Puzzle Box to combo with Narset to try to lock our opponents out. Your pretty typical Jeskai mana base in an Arid Mesa, 2 Celestial Colonnades, 4 Flooded Strands, a Glacial Fortress, 2 Hollowed Fountains, 2 Islands, a Mountain of Plains, a Sacred Foundry, 4 Tarn, 2 Steam Vents, and a Sulphur Falls. And then lastly, 2 Spreading Seas for an enchantment. So the main reason to play this deck is you have an infinite combo that can win the game on turn 4, which is Saheeli Rai plus Felidar Guardian, which is your Felidar Guardian gets minused on by Saheeli, which makes a new Felidar Guardian with haste. You then use that Felidar Guardian token to blink your Saheeli to then copy your Felidar Guardian again, essentially making infinite hasty 1/4s. Anyone who played Standard remembers this deck.
Yeah, this is the one that got the insta
Yeah,
ban.
it actually got e-banned because it was too good.
Yep, emergency banning on this guy.
And so a lot of people have been playing this deck again in Modern because of Nahiri or Narset and Teferi getting printed, really giving you some nice protection and also just giving you more things that are really good with Felidar Guardian. Like Nahiri minusing twice, blinking it with a Felidar, and then minusing again is insane card advantage.
Yes.
As well as just like Felidar's fine, blinking like a Snapcaster Mage even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get some extra value out of it. You can actually just basically you can just bolt somebody out of the game. You know, because you have. I like that you're running the 2 Lightning Helixes. I know that you were kind of up in the air about it, right?
Yeah, I wanted a third. I decided to just put the third in the sideboard, but
yeah. So, you know, you got your 4 Lightning Bolts and your 2 Helixes. Well, you know, you can just go on that Snapcaster beatdown plan if you really need to. It's probably not a great plan.
I mean, it gets there more than like you'd probably think.
Yes, it does. And
Modern's a pretty aggressive format. People take a lot of damage, especially when they think they're against a control deck.
Yeah, so if you can do something cool with Teferi's Puzzle Box. Now, for some of those of you out there that don't know what Teferi's Puzzle Box is, it's a 4-drop artifact. It's usually in Commander, and they did print it in 8th edition, so sometimes people don't even actually know that it's in Modern. It says at the beginning of each player's draw step, that player puts the cards in his or her hand on the bottom of his or her library in any order, then draws that many cards. Well, with you playing your own Narset Parter of Veils, it says each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. So what it does is you set your hand on the bottom, you go to draw your cards, well, you only get to draw your 1 card per turn.
Well, you don't get to draw any, because Teferi's Puzzle Box happens during the draw step.
Mm-hmm.
So you draw your card, you have to put your hand in the bottom. I want to draw however many I had. Oh wait, I can't draw more. So I have no cards moving into my turn.
Yeah. I remembered you getting 1 card when I was playing on Moto for some reason. I don't know why.
That's with like Days Undoing. Or like any wheel effect.
Must be a wheel effect. Cool. Yeah, so this looks like a really cool deck. The sideboard for this deck is actually what? A bunch of 1-ofs, right? Because
yeah, there's a couple 2-ofs.
Yeah,
but
you got 2 Ashiok Dream Renders as a 2-of, 2 Rest in Peace, and 2 Damping Spheres. So like, but everything else, this deck just kind of plays like a toolbox deck right out of the sideboard, where you're just like, okay, I got some 1-ofs, I got a really consistent like almost 4-of package in the main, and I can kind of slide things out and bring in the things that are really going to help me.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of the things in the sideboard kind of do the same thing. Like Anger and Supreme Verdict do the same thing, but a little bit differently. Detention Sphere does pretty close to the same thing as like an Engineered Explosives.
Yeah, 2
or
for
the
ones.
Celestial Purge.
Mm-hmm.
The Dovin's Veto and Spell Pierce work very similarly, just at different mana. And Lightning Helix and Timely kind of do the same thing, and gaining you some life and reassuring those aggro matchups.
Yep. This deck, Terrence says this deck will be a breakout performer at the MC this weekend. So
we'll see.
Yeah, this deck has actually got a lot of hype on it right now. It's starting to pick up some steam. It was not. It's like what Richie said. It wasn't really that big before Narset and Teferi were printed, but with those 2 cards, it gives you that extra reach. And so, because he's playing this deck this weekend, he's able to slot in these Planeswalkers anyways and play it for Super Friends Week. So it kind of just worked out perfect, right? Cool. So let me show you guys the list and tell you those that are listening on SoundCloud what's in my list for the Teamer Walkers. Now, Ryan Zeitz, right? That's how you say Ryan's last name? Zeitz. I always say Zeitz. I don't know why. But he sent me a list, and he wanted me to play it. And I couldn't really come up with anything that I really wanted to play. And so I just felt like, okay, this is probably going to be a solid list, because Ryan likes to brew a lot.
That is what Ryan does. Ryan brews.
Yeah, he does. He brews a ton. So also, Nate Ricci helped him build this deck too.
Okay.
So this is kind of like their little brainchild. This is something that they've been, you know, this is more of a I wouldn't. It's not janky or anything, but like this is more of a. This is a really heavy planeswalker deck, and it relies. Now the reason why people would say, well, it's kind of unreliable, is because it relies on a 1/3 creature to kind of squirt these planeswalkers into play. And so some of these planeswalkers have high CMC on them for modern. You know, they have 4 CMC and 5 CMC, and even some of them have 6. So that's going to be really difficult to get those things out without having your plane-bound accomplice. Now, plane-bound accomplice is a new card for Modern Horizons, which is really neat. And I think I don't know if this is kind of one of those cards where people just don't think you can play this in Modern. I think that mainly is one of the things, but it was when it was spoiled, people were very excited in Commander for it. It's a 1/3 human wizard, 1 red, 2 colorless CMC, and it says pay 1 red, and you don't actually even have to tap this guy. It's just an activated ability for 1 red, and so it's just like sneak attack. Yeah, you almost said sneak and show.
Yeah.
Not the show part, just sneak attack. So you pay 1, and it says you may put a planeswalker card from your hand onto the battlefield, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So what you really want to do is you want to play these really powerful planeswalkers that have huge upsides, right? And a lot of times those ones that have huge upsides are your 4, 5, and 6 drops. The smaller ones, they don't usually have a huge upside. So that's why you're going to see like the new Vivian's in here, Chandra Flamecaller. I'm not really sure. I like this one too much. I told Ryan I'd probably change some things around, but there's a bunch of Chandras in here. And I really like Tezzeret the Seeker. Tezzeret the Seeker is really cool.
Well, he's how you get your combo.
Correct. And so this deck does have a combo in it. And so
I want to see like an Ugin or a Karn in this deck.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to play some big fat fatties in here. And so Cloudstone Curio is the combo piece for it. So Richie, go ahead and tell everybody how this works, because I'm not 100% how this works.
Yeah, so Cloudstone Curio is a 3-mana artifact that whenever a non-artifact permanent comes into play under your control, you can choose to put something back into your hand. Now, where a lot of people have seen this card is in, like, Elves. You pick up your Visionaries, pick up your Shaman of the Pax, play them, bounce a Llanowar Elves, play your Llanowar Elves, bounce it back, you know, get really good value, or just combo kill your opponent out that way. But in this deck, it's doing sort of a similar thing, where if you have a Planeswalker that can make 2 red mana, which in this deck is Chandra Novice Pyromancer, Chandra Torch of Defiance, or Garruk Wildspeaker, you can actually go infinite with Planeswalker abilities, or the Chandra Bold Pyromancer. I was not even aware this was a Magic card. But, so yeah, any of these 4 Planeswalkers, the Garruk, you do need 2 mountains in play, but, so you play one of them, you choose not to bounce something, you use the ability to get 2 red, you then play any of your other Planeswalker, any of the other 11 Planeswalkers in your deck, you pick that one back up, then you can pay a red to play one of them again, and use their new ability because they are a new Planeswalker, and make 2 more red. You can bounce your other Planeswalker when it entered, and you can just loop them like that. So with Narset, you can dig for everything. With Chandra Novice Pyromancer, it does 2 damage to an opponent, that'll kill him. Chandra Torch of Defiance Plus will kill. Garruk won't really kill the turn he gets played, but he has a way to go infinite. This is another one I could see maybe just becoming like a different Chandra.
Yeah.
Jace Architect of Thought, his -2 just digs you cards. Tezzeret is... I don't really think he's a win con in this deck.
Well, he can go get your Cloudstone.
Well, yeah, he can go get your Cloudstone. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, so he's...
But he doesn't, like, win the game. Like,
no.
He's not like any of the other Planeswalkers where with the double red he can win you the game.
Yeah.
Chandra Awakened Inferno, just put a bunch of emblems on your opponent, burn them out.
Mm-hmm.
Chandra Flame's Fury does damage to players. Same with Chandra Flamecaller, you just make infinite 3/1s with haste.
Yeah.
Vivian, I'm not really sure what ability she has that wins you the game. I don't 100% feel a creature card. Pull those into your hand and the rest on the bottom. I don't really get why this one's in the deck.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why I was saying I might cut that one.
Yeah.
But the card that I really like in here actually is Oath of Nissa. And I see a lot of people playing. It's like a lot of homebrews and a lot of a lot of people that just enjoyed playing this card when it was in standard. I'll see them make decks with this card.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a deck really top with this at like a GP or an SCG event. As of late, I'm sure we would have heard about it, but I like this card a lot. This card's really cool because it kind of they call it the Green Ponder sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard people call it that. But this card's neat. I don't think I've ever cast this card on paper, and so I'm pretty excited to cast this card.
Yeah, it's a pretty good card.
Yeah, so so if you guys do have time on Thursday at 6, Richie's going to be streaming his Saheeli deck, getting ready for Columbus, and about 1:30 on Friday afternoon, I will be streaming Teamer Walkers, so come check that out. Also, we have some other people this week, so check out our schedule, and come by if you guys enjoy, casual Magic, Planeswalkers and whatnot, seeing how they work in different formats. Come check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so next thing we got here is how the weekend went, actually for the Star City event, and because we were there, we were able to tell you guys, like, the people who took first place done got up in our guts this weekend. So
they were our first loss.
They were our first loss, so that was pretty neat, and people always, I hear a lot of people say, well, at least I lost to the people that won the event. And that was definitely true for us. We started out 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
We were feeling really good, and then we got to round 3, and we just
got hit by a truck.
Yeah, well, we didn't get beat too bad, by Corey. Who was it? Corey, Shaheen, Sarani, Corey, Baumeister, and
Pete Ingram.
Pete Ingram, yeah. So Pete was on Legacy, and he was playing 4-color Delver. Shaheen was on Azorius Control, and he was who I played against. And then Richie played against Corey, which was on Jund Dinosaurs. And when I asked Richie after his match was over, like, hey man, what happened? He just said, I just kind of didn't do a whole lot during the match. My and Corey just curved out on me and just got there.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a special match where anything cool happened. It was just like textbook Magic, and we just lost that one. But all three of those guys, they seemed like pretty cool guys.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Ingram, he didn't really talk too much.
He was too busy making sure Josiah didn't get to cast any spells.
Yes, yeah. So he was on the 4-color Delver list, which is what Josiah was playing this weekend. So it was a mirror matchup, and he just got wastelanded out. He was on the same plan that
Josiah.
that Josiah was on, and it just didn't work out for him. So, but Josiah said it was a pretty good match. The Shaheen match for me, we got to game 3. We started game 3.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't able to finish the round. So, but I feel like I would have got there. I had a pretty good hand, pretty good start. So, and the blue-white matchup for Burn is it's not easy, but it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, the event went really well. You saw some pretty obvious names. You got the one of the Jessups in the top
8.
In the top 8 with standard here. You've got also, who else we got?
Ben Reagan.
Ben Reagan took 2nd place. His team took 2nd.
Matthew Dilks in 5th.
Yeah, he was playing. They were both playing Modern. And then the legacy names, I didn't really see any legacy names that I really knew on here other than Pete because we played him. I think I've heard of Alex Rubin, maybe?
I faced David Long. He's a pretty known depth player at this point.
Okay, he took 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there wasn't. I didn't really see anything like super special that we should go over from the results. You got your typical Feather, Simic Nexus, and the Scape Shift deck, which Richie played that this weekend.
Definitely the breakout deck of the weekend
yes.
from every tournament.
Yeah, and so we'll talk about that here in a minute. Vampires is still getting in there. There's 2 copies of Dinosaurs in the top, so it looks like Dinosaurs is probably a pretty safe choice, and that's really cool to see. Too bad we couldn't put me in the dinosaur suit this weekend, and I could have played Standard.
I offered.
I know you did, and I probably would have got some wins, but not
Maybe.
A whole lot of wins. I wouldn't. I mean, the results couldn't have been any worse, right? We went 2-3 dropped, so.
We could have 0-3'd.
Yeah, we could have 0-3'd with me on Standard. And so for Modern, you've got your typical decks, except for the one deck that I see in here, which is very weird, Pure Steel Paladin. I didn't think I would see a Pure Steel Paladin deck take 4th place, but maybe that person got a little carried.
I don't even know if that's necessarily true. Modern's really uninteractive right now.
Okay, so you think the Pure Steel deck is just, you can just go ahead and goldfish that thing just like every other deck?
Well, I mean, what, Phoenix has 5 removal spells is all?
Yep.
Like, Blue-White Control's probably an abysmal matchup. Eldrazi Tron, like, they have to know and chalice you on 0, otherwise you're just gonna die.
Yeah.
Humans can't do anything against, well, they can, like, Meddling Mage, your Grape Shot, but, like, they're playing, like, Repeals and stuff in the main deck now.
Not a whole lot, so.
Urza's a race, except your combo goes off turn 2, theirs goes off, like, 3 to 4.
Yeah, so.
Hogak doesn't do anything against you.
That's exactly what I was going to say, is Hogak is actually still alive and well. And, we said that we were going to try to go a week without talking about Hogak on this show, but
it's not gonna happen.
I don't know if it can happen. I don't think it happened last week, right? So round 3 actually, I died to Hogak, and it felt just as bad as when the bridge was there.
Yeah.
The deck feels really good.
I hate to say it, I just like, I don't know, Burn just has not impressed me in Modern in a while.
Yeah, I know you were saying that, but.
Like,
I think Burn's still. I think it's still in a fine spot. It just, it needs some tweaking.
You'll never give up your Eidolons and Goblin Guides. So.
I will not. So for Legacy, Ren 6 is really starting to take off. I know we've been talking quite a bit about Ren 6 lately, but that card is seeing not only a huge financial gain, but
of the 8 decks were probably on. Like anywhere from 3 to 4 Ren 6s?
Yeah, you've got 4-color Delver, which we're on Ren 6. You've got 4-color Control, which we're on Ren 6.
Teamer Delver.
Yeah, Teamer Delver might even have been on.
Teamer Delver is for sure on Ren 6.
Okay, yeah, 3 of them. So basically the whole top 8 is just straight up Ren 6.
Except for Bomberman and Is It Delver, which...
And we did giggle on the way there. Josiah and I said... that was one of the articles that somebody wrote that, Bomberman was a good pick for this weekend.
That's actually nuts in Legacy, and nobody knows it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. You've just got to have a really good pilot for that deck, because there are a lot of lines that, because it's just like, it's just basically Storm, but I don't think it's as good as Storm.
I think it's pretty different than Storm.
It is, but it plays similar because you have to play your LED, a million times, right?
I mean, yeah, but that's not really Storm.
Sure.
It plays more like a prison deck.
Okay. Well, it does have the Karn package in here.
Yeah, as Karn, you play Chalice of the Void.
I think
you have Monastery Mentor.
Yeah, so the other way I've seen it is probably a little bit, it's a little bit different. I didn't see the list that had Karn in there.
Yeah, this is how they play the deck now.
This is an updated list.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so nothing too out of the ordinary for this past weekend. So, you guys don't have to run out and buy anything crazy yet for next week or the next couple weeks. But we are going to go over also the classics from the SCG this past weekend because Richie did play in the Standard Classic. So
Yeah.
Richie, tell us about how the Classic went.
Yeah, so I played Bandscape Shift again. The deck felt really good in the main event, and I had heard that it was seeing a lot of play in the GP as well that weekend. So I decided to run it back in the Classic. Plus, the deck's actually surprisingly fun to play, even though like you're just playing lands.
Yeah, so tell those of the guys that are listening, like how this deck works. Because when you just say Bant Scape Shift, you think to yourself like, oh, it's a Scape Shift deck. You just Molten Pinnacle them. Well, no, this is Standard, and there's no Molten Pinnacle in Standard. So
Well, there is, but it's not quite Molten Pinnacle. So
yeah,
let me see how this is probably pretty close to what I played, if not
sure it
the
is.
exact list. So yeah, so you have your ramp spells in the Grazer, the Rejuvenators, the Growth Spirals, the Circuitous Routes, the Grow from the Ashes. That's how you try to get more lands into play besides for just like playing your lands every turn.
Yep.
Then your payoffs are your Scape Shifts, your Hydroid Krasis, and then you have Teferian Prison Realm for protection. So you probably look at this land base and you go, what is going on? Why is there so many one-ofs?
Yeah, there's 28 lands in the deck.
13 of which come into play tapped even.
Yes.
Well, the reason why there's so many one-ofs is the 1/4 of land in the deck, which is Field of the Dead. So this land enters the battlefield tapped, and taps for a colorless mana. But when it enters the battlefield, or when another land, not specifically a different land or not specifically Field of the Dead, but whenever any land enters the battlefield under your control, you make a 2/2 zombie if you control 7 or more lands with different names. So, on one end, you put this into play early, and you can just eventually hit your 7 land drops, a lot of the time using like a Circuitous Route or a Grow from Ashes to make 2 zombies, and then from that point on, every land drop is just an additional zombie. But with Scape Shift, the card gets kind of out of hand. On 7 lands, you make 7 zombies, which is pretty good for 4 mana. But then at 2, you make 16 zombies because you grab 2 Field of the Dead and 6 other lands.
Mm-hmm.
And so on and so forth. You eventually can just make a metric buttload of zombies with this deck.
Yes.
But on top of that, you're also ramping so you can cast huge Hydroid Krasis, which this card is a all-star in this deck.
Yeah.
It's been an all-star in Standard the whole time. Just like gaining life is the biggest deal. I thought Mono Red was going to be a tough matchup. I actually beat Mono Red twice and beat a like similar Rakdos aggro deck because a lot of people are like, there was this Gates deck shell that was running around for a bit, and the difference is you get to play like 3 life gain lands in this deck, which gaining 3 life is really relevant against Mono Red or against any aggressive deck for that matter.
Yep.
So this deck is very powerful. You'll probably see a lot of it moving forward. You'll see a lot of hate for it moving forward, but it's definitely a real Standard deck that you have to keep an eye out for.
Yeah. So, spoiler: this deck did win the GP this past weekend by LSV. So you will be hearing a lot about this deck. Richie's very excited about this deck. I haven't seen him get excited about Standard, other than just saying like, I got a test for Standard. I have to. Like lately, it's been a have to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Richie went into Sunday saying, I feel like this deck is nuts. I had so much fun with it. I wanna go play it, run it back in the Classic, and he did that. And so, you took 30th place, which congratulations.
Yeah,
that's good.
It was a pretty good finish.
Yeah.
I had my 3 losses that put me into the 30th place were one when I was 3-0 to a really cool Naya Feather deck that unfortunately didn't top 32.
Mm-hmm.
Or he did top 32. He did not top 16, so his list isn't up here.
Yep.
And then my second loss was the round after to Ross Miriam on Mono Blue, which
he took 10th.
Yeah.
That's to be expected.
He's Ross, and I actually think that's a tough matchup. That was what my last loss was in the last round. I was playing for 16th or 32nd. I might have gotten somewhere in between. I might not have 16, but
sure,
it felt like that's what I was playing for. And I just got crushed again by Mono Blue. They have a lot of early counter magic, and if they have a Curious Obsession or a Tempest Vision, their pressure actually adds up. Without it, you can normally win, but if they have one of those 2 cards, they can close the game out pretty fast.
Yep.
But overall, I was really impressed with the Bant Scape Shift deck, and I would recommend it with an asterisk saying try to play some on Arena and keep an eye out to see how much hate people end up bringing for that deck.
Yeah, there'll be some hate coming.
There is ways to hate it in Standard.
Yep, absolutely. So the Modern Classic that went. Hey, we got 2 burns in the Modern Classic top 8, so not so bad. Let's see.
But I mean, Mono Red Phoenix took first and second.
Yeah, but they're in the top 8 though.
Sure.
So that can, look, it's just blue white, or I mean, it's just red white.
Blue white.
Blue white burn. But yeah, it's just red white. So I don't know, Richie. What do you think? Do you think I should try to go back to this list?
Maybe. I mean, this is the list that like consistently performs. So maybe there's a reason.
Yeah.
Josiah was telling you Boros Charm is the reason to play Burn, so maybe Josiah knows something.
He does. He's all right at Magic. He did pretty well.
Not good enough to do well for us, but
he did all right this weekend. But yeah, so it looks like it's very similar.
You got your Fire Dancers in the sideboard of this list.
Oh God, the Fire Dancers again! Holy God, so unreal. Yep. So I don't know if I could play this list again, but I could sleeve it up and take a look. I'm not against.
I really think you should try the Mono Red Phoenix or Mono Red Prowess deck.
Yeah. The Mono Red Phoenix deck looks pretty
more
neat.
up your alley, I think.
The Arc Lights, the Bedlam Reveler. I really like Bedlam Reveler, man.
Bedlam Reveler's sweet.
Not a big fan of Soul Scour Mage though.
That card's really good.
I hate that card actually.
Actually impressive.
It doesn't have haste and it makes me
angry. That
angry.
doesn't matter. It has a way better ability.
I know. And
you ever shrink a Worm Coil Engine?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. No, I have not. But I wouldn't mind playing Gut Shot because I really like that card.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with more Gut Shots than Lava Darts, but I could be wrong on that one.
And I didn't like Light Up the Stage. But in this deck...
Well, you're not playing Eidolon in this deck.
I know. I agree with Light Up the Stage in this deck, so... and I got to play Sunbaked Canyon for the first time this weekend in an event, and I really didn't like it. So...
You're also not playing White Mana.
I am not playing White Mana, but man, I would love to play it. I want to see how many are they running in the. They're running 4 copies of Sunbaked, so.
It's really good in Burn.
Yeah, Red White Burn seems like it's where it's at. It might just be better than Jund Burn right now.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll have to go back. I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll see. So the Legacy Classic that happened this weekend also was 3 Delvers in the top 3. Mono Red Prison took 4th. Wow, that's pretty cool. That must have been a hell of a Prison player.
I wonder if it's the one I seen beat Zach Allen.
David Weisenberg.
Yeah, I'm not sure on names.
Yeah. Stoneblade was there, another Bomberman. 4-color Loam, and then Mono Blue Urza. Oh baby, the spice! I want to see it. I want to look at the list. Walking Ballistas, Trinket Mage, Psy. 4 Urza. 4 Karn Scion of Urza, which is Baby Karn, right?
Mm-hmm.
4 Karn the Great Creator. Then you got 22 lands. Mox Opals, Urza's Baubles, Welding Jars, Tormod's Crypt in the main. Sorcerer's Spyglass, that's a beautiful card. Pithing Needle, Mox Diamond, Lotus Petal, EE, and 4 Chalice of the Void. Oh, baby. This looks great.
It's just another Prison deck.
Yeah. It's just another Prison deck. But Urza is something else, man. Lord High Artificer. I think this card is going to do really well in Modern. I just don't think we didn't get to see any in the top 8. But
there was some. I'm pretty sure there was an Urza deck in the top 8.
Was there?
Pretty sure.
Okay. All right, so LSV. Who's on top this week?
He's back at it.
It's LSV. He is. Finally. Look at this guy. He's like 1,000. He's still slaughtering people. That's great, man. He took down Denver with the Scape Shift deck. And so when Richie says, hey, if you're going to try this deck out, you better be worried about people packing some hate on you. And that is very true. Because with LSV just playing this deck, that's going to get you a lot of looks, right? But with him going on and winning, and you seeing it at the SCG in the top 8s, you know that this deck is going to stick around for a while. It's
It-
not just
it's
going to
really
be the
good.
flavor of the week.
Well, it's not gonna be around for too long. It does rotate in 3 months.
So okay, well, it'll be taking stuff down. So was there anything special from the GP that you wanted to talk about?
No, just LSV won it. There were 4 copies of Scape Shift in the top 8.
Okay.
LSV's list was a little bit off from what I played, but it was based off the same list that I was playing. So
Gotcha. Okay. And what was the cool thing that you were telling us on the car ride home that he was doing? That he was just scape shifting all the lands out of his deck so he wouldn't draw any more lands?
oh well,
Like just casting secondary scape shifts, right?
no. That he won a game where he got unmoored egoed, and they took
Okay.
away his land that makes the zombies, and he still won that game through just like getting rid of all the lands in his deck, and then also just like beating down with literally every creature in his deck.
Got it. So he probably just Hydrocrisis his way there.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I would assume.
Yeah, that card's really nuts. So for those of you that are always looking to go to the next event, or maybe you just you don't keep up and you're like, oh, that sounds cool. I'd like to hit an event up. The next event is going to be Barcelona, and that's going to be Modern.
Yeah.
So the next one though in the States, for those of you that enjoy Modern also, is going to be Minneapolis on August 9th. But
Minnesota.
yeah, not a place I've ever been to.
Me neither.
Not a place I think I may never go to
You're,
because
you're gonna go to Minnesota one time.
you think so?
At some point in your life.
Yeah, probably a few years from now when I have to go.
Yeah.
When I'm moving big time weight. Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see.
Well, you're already moving big time weight.
You're right, because I got on a... No, I didn't get on a scale. I don't want to do that. Yeah, that's big stuff. But yeah, so Minneapolis is coming up. And then, well, actually before that, for those of you that just like being a nerd, like myself, there is the 1st through the 4th is going to be Gen Con. So I'm actually very excited about that. I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next coming week. Maybe it's the 23rd already, so I'd have to talk about it next week before I go, right? Yeah, so I'll get some information about that, and we'll talk a little bit about Gen Con next week. I need to buy my goddamn ticket.
Dude, you're gonna pay like $1 million.
No, it's the same price. Tickets run out, and I don't know. I just got to make sure.
You better get you and Stefan his ticket.
If I don't, no, Stefan's not going to be here. If I don't get my ticket,
all right, Stefan's not going.
Then I'm going to have to buy somebody's badge when they're like, oh, I can only stay for the first 2 days. I'll buy your badge. That stuff sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, and then right after that, there's going to be Las Vegas, and that's Modern Limited, which I will be in.
Viva Las Vegas.
I'll be there for Viva Las Vegas. And then we got Team Modern and Indie. Ooh, look out. I'm going to have to get a team together, Richie.
I ain't going to be there.
I know you're not. Yeah, so if you guys are going to Barcelona, have a good time. Sounds... I'd like to go to Barcelona.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be very cool.
I was near Barcelona one time.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I went to Bilbao.
Yeah. When you made the Pro Tour?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Which, basically the Pro Tour is what we're going to talk about next.
Yeah, next we're going to talk about the Mythic Championship. 4. Mythic Championship 4. And we want to talk about a local that's made it.
Nick Subcheck?
Yes. Nick Subcheck made the Mythic Championship. Everybody in the community
we all kind of helped him get there.
Yeah. Everybody's kind of put in a little bit to kind of help him get there, make sure that he not only had the money but the skill set. Because last couple times we played, I beat him down. So I was helping him learn at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think we only played once. I'm thinking of somebody else, but we played once, but he was on like Jeskai or something, and that's not a good matchup for him for playing against Burn.
Mm-hmm.
He'd probably smash me now. He's been playing a lot and testing.
Yeah.
He's at that pro level right now.
Hopefully.
So
I believe in him.
I don't want to see him on a Wednesday. That's for sure.
Why not?
Because he'll beat me.
Oh, I thought you meant you don't want him showing up on Wednesdays.
No, I want him showing up. I just don't want to play against him.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's pretty easy when you're in the O2 bracket all the time.
Oh, son of a bitch. Man, these knives hurt today.
Yeah.
My back is sore.
Shanky.
You are shanky today. Yeah, so tell everybody, Richie, and now I said this before we started when I was looking over the notes, is how the hell do you get to a Mythic Championship? Because when you made the Pro Tour before, I kind of knew how that went for the most part, right?
Mm-hmm.
I knew like, okay, this is how you make the Pro Tour, but the Mythic Championship, I'm not so caught up on. So tell everybody how you do that.
Yeah, so it's pretty similar to the same way. One way you can do it is you can do it by being the pros right now, which are the MPL. If you're a member of the MPL, you're invited to all the Mythic Championships.
What's the MPL?
The Magic Pro League.
Ah, okay. Go on.
Did you actually not know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe some people that are listening don't know that either.
Well, the other way is if you top 80 GP, you get invited.
Yep.
And then if you win a Mythic Championship qualifier at different game stores around the world, that's how you get invited.
Cool. So when are you going to get invited?
When I'm not washed up.
That is not true.
Exactly, because it's never going to happen.
You're going to get there.
You'll find out.
I believe in you.
I had to play in events to try to qualify for them in order to qualify.
Yeah, that's right. You do. Yeah. We'll start getting you to some of these events, man. I know you can make it.
I just prefer Star City.
I
We've had
know.
that talk before.
Yeah,
though.
a lot of the grinders are getting after the Star City. So, speaking of grinding Star Cities, next week is...
I'll be grinding it this weekend.
Yes, this coming weekend is Star City Games C-Bus.
Cebus.
And that's what Richie is calling it.
Cebus.
But I call it Columbus because I'm a real human being, and that's what we do.
I don't believe you. I think you're a cop.
So the open is modern. So sleeve up your Hogax, and you don't need anything else, right? Sleeve up your bridge from belows. No. Okay, don't do that.
Nope.
Okay.
Don't listen to Josh.
What do you want to sleeve up for this weekend? What's your recommendation, Richie? Give him some, because we are playing and we're into the game. If for those local guys in the Midwest here that are going to be listening or watching, what do you think they should take? Because it's a close one. They're going to be there.
It's honestly like whatever you play in Modern is probably like a fine option for the most part. Like the biggest thing with Modern is having repetitions with your deck, and really, as long as it's not like a meme deck, you probably have a chance. Like
Okay.
you could probably take Burn to one of these and do fine.
Yeah.
Maybe not you, but you know.
Thank you.
Blue White is always a fine option. Decks like Is It Phoenix, the new Devoted Druid deck will probably, I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Urza. I wouldn't be surprised to see Urza.
I want to check. I cannot wait till next week, but I think Urza's going to be in the top 8 next week.
Well, we'll see. Ray Perez can't make it, so.
He's not going?
No.
Well, there might be some other past pros there, that'll be doing something.
Maybe.
But yeah, let's say that maybe you're not very familiar with Modern, and you're gonna go to SCG Columbus. Maybe you're just like, hey, I'm not into Modern right now. You could play some Legacy side events. Number one, if you're a big Legacy fan, or you could play in the Classic on Sunday, and then a Standard. And if you wanted to, you could try out Richie's deck.
Yeah, Landscape Shift. Andre Stratsky's 75 he posted on Twitter.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm sure if you needed cards for that, and you ordered them by tomorrow from momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com, you might get them by then. We'll see, though.
We'll get them.
Yeah, and then you'll get them, and we'll get them, right?
Yeah.
We will all get them together.
We're all in this together.
That's right.
You know who wasn't together, though? Josiah, when he wouldn't do this podcast with us today.
So Josiah Valley, he was our teammate from this weekend. So if you guys follow us on Twitter, you at Mom's Basement MTG. Oh, excuse me, is that it? Right, Richie? Mom's Basement MTG?
Yeah.
Mom's Basement Games? Yeah, geez, I have so many, sorry. So many things here. Yeah, we got a picture from this past weekend, right, that we posted? There we go. There's that sweet little man. If you guys, those of you listening, go.
I can't tell who the grandpa is.
He never smiles, but it's okay. We try to get him to smile. He's got a lot of freckles on his face, so he's kind of He's kind of gingery
We
like
got him
me.
to laugh a couple times.
We did. He laughed a few times, but
whether or not they were pity laughs, who knows?
Yes, and so Josiah Valley's a really good guy.
Yeah, Josiah's great.
He's been a friend of mine for a while, and he's my road trip buddy. And we put Richie in the back seat, and he did a little bit of mouth breathing and snoring for a little while.
That was great.
Yeah, but he didn't go to sleep on Friday like he was supposed to. So yeah, you were up all night playing games. That's what I like to hear. And
no, that was Thursday into Friday.
Thursday into Friday, and doing.
Yeah, I slept plenty Friday.
Yes, you did. So I want to show you guys some pictures here from the event. So this is me and Richie at the beach. Richie, it looks like you've aged a little bit here. I don't know.
I hate you. Now the Russians have my face. Thanks.
So I thought I would sneak this in on Richie here. I'll post this to our Twitter if you guys are listening. But we've got the age progression face app. And we got Richie as an old man. He's balding and has gray hair. You look great there, man. You age well. Salt and pepper. I like it. We also, we got a picture here of you as a girl. So that wasn't actually you this weekend. But
for everyone who's wondering, this is the last episode of
the last
Magic
episode.
in the Making with Richie Thompson. So,
but we did actually do. We had some fun. We went to the boardwalk. We drove to the Jersey Shore, and we went out and got some crab. You
got crab. I got lobster.
You got lobster, and we did some fist pumping. So that was really neat. I enjoyed that.
You had these crab French fries that were insane.
Yes, I did. So we were at the boardwalk taking pics, and I had these fries that were covered in crab, covered in cheese.
They were pretty great.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to see how fast I can get diabetes. But here's the actual picture of me and Richie at the beach, at the ocean, so that was good. And then this was Richie losing a flip-flop here. He was holding on to me. I took a couple pictures of that. He's like, God damn it! God, my flip-flop!
It got stuck in the sand, dude. It sucked.
Yep, so...
Didn't want to lose my foot.
That was fun times.
Can't be branded.
Yep, so... We'll have to post those pictures later. But anyways, so we had a good time this weekend. And we also just wanted to...
Holy shit, Josh.
That's not me. That's not a leprechaun.
Oh.
We wanted to transition here and...
I thought you just dyed your beard on me and didn't tell me.
No, and get into finance here. Because there's a lot... I think the one thing that we can't talk about this week is the Scape Shift deck. I think Scape Shift is going to see... I think the actual card Scape Shift is going to see an uptick in value.
I think it's going to go up.
I think it will. I don't think it's going to double or anything, but I think it's going to go probably up about, I don't know, $5 to $7.
I think it might go to 20.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because they're what, like $10 right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, it's still a modern card.
Yeah. So.
Did you know this card used to be 63 cents apparently?
Yeah, I actually bought a couple for my brother not too long ago. So. The winners for this week, we always do, this is part of the podcast, we always let you guys know what cards are hot, what cards are not, what you want to buy, what you don't want to buy, what's a trap. So we'll run through these real quick. The Hibernation Sliver is up. Now, most slivers are still going to be creeping up. Even with Legacy Slivers, this card was the best card in the deck. Mm-hmm. So... you're not going to see any spikes because of Legacy Slivers, right?
When are you going to play Slivers again, Josh?
I will play Slivers again, man. I almost went 4-1 without Aether Vials in a league. I went 3... I positived in a league with Slivers. I can't do it with a real deck, but when I play meme decks...
Whoa, who's saying Slivers isn't a real deck?
Some people do. And I don't agree, because that deck is fucking nuts. So... Teferi's Puzzle Box is up from $7 to $35, and then it says back to 24. So it's hovering at 24, but Puzzle Box is real good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Static Orb is another one. Richie, do you know why this is up right now?
Nope. All I know is I'm sad because if I ever build Commander again, I'm going to need one.
Yes, Static Orb is a great card. Players cannot untap more than 2 permanents during their untap phases, so... some type of lockout deck is doing very well, and I don't know about it.
That's what I'd played in. Brago.
Yeah. Sapphire Medallion, that card just keeps going up. I find this card in bulk sometimes.
I don't get why. I don't like
The old version.
the medallion cycle's okay.
From Tempest. Yeah, I have no clue. And your beautiful River Bears is it's a 3 CMC, 1 green. It's a 4-drop bear, 3/3 with Island Walk. It is now at $10 Rooskies.
God damn, I love some fucking bears.
I've got to play Bear Tribal soon, man. I have to.
I've been telling you for how long now?
I know. I'll squeeze it in
You gotta
there.
build your commander deck,
I
too.
will squeeze it in there. So the loser for this week is Factor Fiction, because when it got spoiled, heyo, went up to $11. The foils from Invasion were like $100. They could still be in that 60 to 80 range.
It's an old foil.
Yeah, and this card is just it's seeing dabbling of like a one of in the blue-white shell.
Dabbling?
Yeah, a little bit of dabbling in the blue-white shell, and not everybody's running this card, so it's not doing what everybody thought it was going to do. But what happened where you see the spike here when it goes from $1.83 all the way up to $11 is people were just getting their copies.
Yeah.
They were like, holy shit, they brought back Factor Fiction into Modern.
Remember when you said you thought it was going to be too good for Modern?
Yeah, I didn't think this card needed to be in Modern. But then now Modern's so fast, like, even if you put this thing at 3 CMC,
God, can we get 3 CMC Factor Fiction?
I think we could.
God, I hope so. That'd be great.
I literally think we could.
Great.
Then the card would be...
Do it, Wizards!
Oh, you're going to blow eardrums out. Holy shit, guy. Yeah, you're just going to hold tight on Factor Fiction. It's probably going to come back down to like $2. Thran Turbine, I know there's that legacy meme deck that's going on.
No, that's not that card. That's the Urza card.
Okay. Yeah, so Thran Turbine was up and down. Spiteful Sliver from $5 to $1. That's really cool. Yeah, it's really crashing.
Blasphemous Act ain't doing it.
Now the Blasphemous Act video just didn't get it there. We got Kess at $9. So, but you can get the new copies from Modern Horizons for like $2. So I don't know what that's about. I know
she's like
$4. They're showing the price of the C17 one. So, and then you got Mazavith. So for those of you Commander players that you want your foil Mazavith, it looks like it's about time to pick that up. So if you guys have been holding on that, I would probably do that.
I don't know why that card was 160.
Yeah, so they have this Woodland Mystic. Now this is a previous thing that happened where it's in a what is it?
Planeswalker deck.
A Planeswalker deck, and it's like the Llanowar Elf Spike that happened last year in C9. What was it? C9 or M19?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like $10 or something. So it was just a weird variant where people are pricing these high when they put them on for some reason. I don't know who's doing it. And
someone much smarter at their job than us.
Yeah, and so sometimes people click on this like, oh, I need Woodland Mystics for my deck. Oh, it looks like they're $6 fucking. I guess I need to buy them at that price. Well, you don't need to buy them at that price. They're a common from M20, so please do not get trapped by that. That is a trap this week.
Catalyst, how do you feel about traps, Josh?
I don't like traps too much. Catalyst Stone is getting hyped because of the new Commander product that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 2-drop artifact where flashback costs that you have cost 2 less, and then your opponents it costs them 2 more. So it's a pretty cool card.
I didn't even know this was a card.
Yeah, it's an old Odyssey rare. So when you type in flashback, and Gatherer, this is going to come up, and so people were just like, oh, let's start buying copies of this.
Flashback,
yeah.
flashback.
So Mana Maze. Now this one's kind of weird to me, but I see that it's a spike because of the unbanning of Painter's Servant. Now,
yeah, it's
Mana Maze.
Silence.
Yeah, Mana Maze is a 2-blue enchantment. Players can't play spells that share a color with the spell last played this turn. So when you name whatever color you're going to name, you can't play those spells. So
Well, it's not even that color. Painter's Servant makes everything.
yeah, everything in the game that color, whatever color you
So
choose.
you only get to play one spell.
Correct.
It's like a rule of law.
Correct. So it's a pretty good one, and it's blue. So that's a pretty good one. It's up to $9 right now. I would say I'd wait on that card. I wouldn't pick that up right away. The other weird one here that we saw was Lifeblood Hydra from what is this set?
It's a Commander set.
Yeah, Commander MA.
It's a This is in Commander Anthologies.
Anthologies. Okay, got it.
So, it's in an actual Commander.
Yeah,
deck.
so it's Lifeblood Hydra, and it is seeing a spike because probably of Unbound Flourishing is what they're the data that they're coming up
but
with.
also the new Hydra.
Yeah, and the new Hydra. So there's a little hype around the Hydra train right now. But this has always been Hydras are great casual cards. So these cards are going to see a definite, they're always seeing sales. Whenever anybody brings me Hydras, I'm like, yes, please give me all of them.
Give me all the Hydras.
Yeah, it's like buying a Soul Ring. These cards always sell. So, yeah. And then the cheap pickups right now that they're saying, how do you say this?
Clitoris?
Clitoris. Keithus, the Hidden Hand. He's a legendary elf advisor at green, black, and white.
He's like...
he's an M20 mythic.
He's like, what's his name? An elf advisor. Like Leovold.
Yes, he is like Leovold. He's got the same CMCs, a 3/4. Legendary spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Exile 2 legendary cards from your graveyard until end of turn. Each legendary card in your graveyard gains... You may play this card from your graveyard. Pretty neat.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool for Commander, but again, not really sure why they're taking up mythic slots in M20 to build pieces of shit like this. Like, just use this in a Commander set. Like, I don't know why you have to.
Good for this card might be good in Standard.
For how?
It's a really efficient mana cost. We have a lot of legendaries from Dominaria.
All right, well, you got to build this deck now.
Well, I don't have to do anything.
I don't know. It's like when you look at it, you're just like, that's a Commander card.
Sure.
And you're just like,
well, what, they're only supposed to print Commander cards once a year?
Well, they're printing a lot of Commander stuff right now. A lot of subsets.
It's crazy. It's like it's the biggest format.
It is the biggest format. So Mutavault's down, bottoming out at $8.98. I mean, bottoming out from $9.71. Here we go again. We didn't have enough data to use. We didn't have enough to talk about. So
that's what finance seems like to me.
Yeah, finance is cute sometimes, man. It's just like, well, a few cards have moved this week, but we got to throw some more content in there. So Mutavault. The other one too is Risk Factor. Now Risk Factor, I can actually talk about that one.
Are you sure, Josh?
Yeah, I can. Look, the 3 copies that I was running, here we go. They're sitting right over here. 2 of them are unsleeved. 1 is still sleeved. I don't know why. But those just came out of my Legacy deck. They're not really seeing a whole lot of play in Standard, are they?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Blade of the Stage kind of took its spot.
Yeah, so this card is very great in Legacy Burn. It is very great. But the bad thing is that they printed that goddamn card named Narset.
Not Nahiri, Narset.
Narset. So Narset says you can't draw extra cards, and so this is what you want to do against the blue decks. Well, now you can't do it. So I've taken this card out of my deck. I've replaced it with Beaumont Courier, and I found that that's just a better route to go, is because those cards go into exile, and then the replacement effect puts them into your hand instead of you drawing them.
Mm-hmm.
So rest in peace, Risk Factor. We're gonna miss you. Sorry they had to play.
No, rest in pieces.
No.
A white enchantment.
Goodbye, Risk Factor. Nahiri, the Harbinger, is it says it's bottoming out, so it's down $1, or not even $1.
Like 50 cents.
And then, but you could pick these up anytime. That card's great in Commander. And then Mox Tantalite.
This card is trash.
Why did they build? Again, it's another mythic in a set that is just absolute garbage. For those of you that don't know what this card is, it is Suspend 3 artifact for 0. So
Well, the other thing you got to think about is like a lot of mythics, and like Wizards has actually talked about this. When they're making mythics, they're not making mythics so they're like the oh my god best card in the set. They actually want the best cards at rare, uncommon, or common, because then people can get a hold of them. Mythics, what they use it for is like cards that are too strong or are a lot stronger for a format like limited.
Okay.
Which I still don't know if I agree with this card, but this card's also kind of like a flavor thing, I think.
Yeah, so it's just tap, add 1 mana of any color. So it's Mox Opal, but
Well,
it's just suspend for 3, and it doesn't have the clause of you need 3 permanents to you need 3
like any
artifacts.
Mox.
Yeah, but it's a suspend for 3 turns. So this card may find a home at some point someday.
I don't think it will.
If they do anything with suspend, if there's a suspend type of thing where, or you could take counters off of things type of deck.
Well, they already have stuff like that.
They do. But I'm just saying, like, if that deck gains enough ground and it's playable, then you will see this card at some point. My guess is this card's gonna probably hit $3 or $4. I just don't see this. I don't see anybody playing this card. I mean, I wouldn't even want to put this in my commander deck.
Like anywhere you would want this, just play Lotus Bloom.
Correct. So because then at that point it gives you 3 mana.
It's a Black Lotus instead of a Mox.
Yes. So, but
hot take for all you Cube followers: Black Lotus is better than Moxes.
It is. All right. So
not if you ask a lot of people who play Cube.
Do yourself a favor. Hit the follow button if you guys
and
aren't
ride
following
an eagle,
us.
just like Josh did.
I did ride an eagle. Look at me there. If you're on Twitch right now, we do a giveaway every month. And we did a giveaway last month. What did we give away last month? Oh, a Sliver Queen.
Silver.
Yeah, we gave a Sliver Queen away. And so that's always on our starting soon page. This month we're giving away a box of Guilds of Ravnica.
We're giving away a kitten.
Yeah, we are. It's a box of Guilds of Ravnica. So, if you guys, if you'd like to be a part of that giveaway, you can find us on Twitch. If you're listening on SoundCloud, go to our Twitch page, which is Mom's Basement Streams, and follow us there. We get followers. We've been getting followers basically like close to every day.
All day?
Close to every day. So I'm really proud of that. And the giveaways are helping out,
Mm-hmm.
But we're also starting to build some more solid content. And that's another thing that I'm proud of.
Getting some good streamers in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Our streams are getting better. So come check us out. You can find Richard over here. He's at Richard T MTG. You can follow him on Twitter. He just did a giveaway also, and he gave away a playset of Arcbound Ravengers.
Yeah, the
promo ones, and he's up to 381 followers. He's got more than the business has got now. Man, he knows what he's doing. I'm on that Richard T MTG train, so trying to get him to still teach me some things. But yeah, that's it for us this week.
Gotta post more sushi pics. That's what you gotta do.
That's right. We really appreciate you guys listening, as always. And we will see you guys, next Monday?
Actually on Monday.
Next Monday, because this week we were gone. We had to drive back from Philly. But we'll see you next Monday at 5:30. And we always upload the podcast on SoundCloud right after the show's done. So you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you then. Twitch.
You and Cebus.
See you.
Look at you. You hit